Welcome to episode 307 of the Overlook Hour. I am your host, Clark Little. Along with me, as always, is the man sitting across the table from me. Yes, we are reunited once again. COVID couldn't take him down. The flu couldn't take him down. And frankly, just between us girls, it only made him stronger. It's Russell Johnson.
I don't know about all that. It definitely took me down 7 pounds, which I've...
My favorite Will Smith film.
Dude, the best diet I've been on in forever. Honestly, I think I've been out of it because I haven't been eating, which is the dumbest revelation I've ever had.
Bro, you're supposed to feed a fever and starve a cold.
And I came in strong, eating, and you know what? We ordered Five Guys, and I was so pumped. And we went through this battle with DoorDash where they offered us a bribe. They're like, we know it's been over 2 hours, but if you hang in there, we'll give you 25% credit and you'll still get your order. So guess what? We ordered Taco Bell on top of it because I'm like, I don't believe you, but I want that credit.
You banged?
No, because my bet was correct. The fucking Five Guys never showed up. And then when it never showed up, Oksana, because every time we'd play D&D, she orders food and it never comes correctly. They said, you've had too many corrections recently. We're not going to allow you to do this one.
Did you get the Taco Bell order in while they still had wings?
No, we didn't.
I hear the wings are very
You missed
mediocre.
I didn't have them, actually.
Yeah, no. So we got no Five Guys.
Also, don't speak until you're fucking introduced.
Well, also, we didn't get credited for that order. We got 25% credit of what that order cost. They wouldn't refund it.
Oh, what kind of
And then we got Taco Bell, and we
freakonomics is that?
we both realized we were losing our taste.
Oh, shit.
So then I just stopped eating.
Is the taste back?
Yeah, and the smell now too.
Also checking in on our COVID update, Oksana Valerianova Osachi, who suffered her own journey with this herself. Oksana, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Taste back, smell back,
For the most part, yeah. I think this.
vigor for life back.
Yeah, that never went anywhere
Oh, very good.
except for my technical problems. But yeah,
Don't
they
wanna
gave
get
us.
into that.
They bribed us with a $25. Hey, just wait and see if this shows up. And then when I tried to refund the order that never showed up, they're like, "You can't do that." I'm like,
Was this a DoorDash?
yeah.
Oh,
And they wouldn't even let me talk to anyone. I was like, just give me the difference. I don't care.
That's very strange because I'll tell you something right now. I'm not trying to brag here. But I very well may be their best customer
The
of all
king
time.
of DoorDash.
I don't think there's any question. And I have had to talk to their customer support, let's call it too many times. Every single time, I feel like they're bending over backwards. I have gotten boo-koodles of credits.
Well, the thing is, they always give me credits when my order is wrong. In this case, I think they strategically gave me a couple dollars less than what I paid for the In-N-Out, or I keep calling it In-N-Out, the Five Guys, just so that I couldn't get the full refund for it because they had already given me the slightly lower credit.
Also joining this conversation now to talk about his follies and foes with the food delivery service of DoorDash is Randy Michaelstadt.
You know, I have not ordered a delivery meal since I moved out here in September. I just
What
go
kind of
for a
life
walk.
are you living?
I know, what the fuck.
You go for a walk? What are you, Henry Fonda? The fuck are
I
you
got
talking about?
You know, it's not my favorite, but I have a Shake Shack like right around the corner from me, and then
really?
a bunch of other stuff to eat. It's good, and yeah, I don't know. I like to go for a walk.
Now, Randy, both you and I have shared a meal at Shake Shack, and it was both, let's call it, subpar, right? We were not too terribly impressed with the Shake Shack effort.
I will say I kind of like the Chicken Shack, the chicken burger.
I have not had the chicken. I would try the chicken. Their hot dog is bullshit. Their burger is pedestrian at best. I like the crinkle cut fries because I just love crinkle cut fries because I'm white trash and I love that. I will say their milkshakes, top notch.
Yeah, apparently I haven't tried any yet because I'm lactose intolerant. I think you are too, but you
I
just
rolled the
deal with
dice.
that. Yeah.
Fuck it.
I think they have a new one that is made with Red Bay coffee, which is
Ooh. They had one that they put cornflakes in it. Oh my goodness.
that sounds all right.
It was great.
I don't know. I don't believe you.
I love it.
I love milkshakes too, but I don't.
Love it. I'm telling you right now, better than Five Guys.
Okay.
No question. No question. Five Guys.
You're putting the bar up there.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Five Guys. Stay calm. A little watery.
That's because you get a delivery.
It's a little watery. No.
Yeah.
No. I went to the man.
Wait, which one?
I said man.
We got a couple of them.
Milkshake.
If you went to Tanfran, you're rolling the dice.
Yeah, I went to Tanfran.
Yeah, you got to go to the other one.
It's far away.
I know, but it's better.
That's an Aaron Lewis.
Yeah, they still got a lot of
So far away.
toppings, and it doesn't feel like syrup. So that's really all. I mean, and I think there is a place for that plastic milkshake.
Some people like a watery shake.
Yeah,
I don't.
nah. You know, I will fuck with Burger King though, and that literally tastes like plastic, like you're drinking a plastic milkshake.
No, I like my milkshakes like I like my women. Problems with their father.
Joking.
That's what I like. All right. No, we're going to have a good time today. We're a little bit behind here. We were supposed to start recording at 2:30. It is now 3:45, but in that time, I have learned a sleight of hand magic trick with a cigarette, and I made myself a Bloody Mary. I'll have 3.
Don't say it too many times.
Well, you're already on 2, right?
Yeah. Only during the recording. Pre-recording, you could have summoned Candicia. How many times you fucking said it?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm a little loose.
You little Clark.
Hell yeah.
A little loose.
So what have you been doing? I mean, I've been down for a week. Oksana, she's been feeling fine. I've been in bed bitching and moaning. I can't. When I get sick, I get fucked up. Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
So what I know what I've been doing. I've been in there trying to read House of Leaves.
Yeah.
And going crazy. But
yeah.
What have you been doing in the one wall over?
Fixing my life, dude.
I can tell.
He's
been buying watches
brick by brick. Now, I did buy a watch. Did I show you the watch? Randy, did I show you the watch? The watch hadn't come in, but Randy, do you want to get into watches? Because I got a guy in New York, and let me tell you something. I think he'd be into this brand. He made this brand. It's called Brew Watches, and he made it because he loves fucking coffee.
Okay, I could be down with a coffee watch. What does it have, like a bean on it or something? Or what's going on there?
That's part of the logo. Yeah, it's a little bean
Hell
with a
yeah.
swoop in it.
Oh my!
Does it smell?
I'll send you the watch. But they sold out of this run. The watch I got sold out in 3 minutes, baby. And your boy got in there, run a 200.
Sniper, dude.
Sniping.
I don't get it still.
What do you mean?
It's like clearly all these new trends you're into are all like very outward, thoughtful.
What
like
trends am I into?
Like you're trying to control your id and people's perception of it by the way that you look. Like you're wearing glasses, you're smoking cigarettes, you're wearing watches, but you don't go anywhere. And then we got
Where's
Randy.
there to go?
You could go anywhere.
Where do I go?
Randy, the introvert over here, who loves New York. I don't get this. What's up with the introverts that love being buried under people? So Randy, instead of ordering DoorDash, will go on a walk. He hangs out in bars on New Year's Eve.
Hell yeah.
Y'all are confused.
I don't. Let me tell you something. I never tuned in with Bukowski, dude.
Okay.
All right, so I can't get into that whole barfly culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my scene.
I mean, I kind of understand it.
Randy, when I met Randy, he was reading Ham on Rye for the 3rd time.
I'm more of a Kerouac guy, actually.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
I'm looking at 3
And
Kerouac
by that,
books
you have
from
sex
here.
with 14-year-olds.
Yikes.
He was a pedophile.
Anyway.
What is this, licorice pizza?
Oh, God. Is that what it's about? Pedophiles?
Well, Reddit will try to tell you that.
Licorice Pizza Massacre, dude?
Reddit came after PTA.
Yeah, they did. Film
Yeah.
Twitter did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
But
It was
no
like
one
half and
came
half.
after Red Rocket
Wait, why? Why'd they come after him?
because it's a big movie, and it's about a 15-year-old falling in love with a 25-year-old and vice versa.
Yeah, but he's so worshipful with his like filmmaking. Was there a lot of that, like wonder and like kind of nostalgia?
Let me tell you something. I saw that movie. There's not an ounce of salaciousness in this movie at all.
Mhm.
It's one of the sweetest movies I've seen.
Oh, I
in recent
completely
memory.
believe you.
It's a lovely movie.
But again, I think you were correct when you said people came after it.
Yeah, no,
Because they're looking for
they're
shit.
looking for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was dumb, and it died very quick.
Well, Red Rocket, again, like it might be lower hanging fruit there, but still like nuance. If you're going to watch a movie that's 2 hours long.
I got a crush on Strawberry, by the way. I follow her on Instagram.
You gonna buy
She
her
is like
Bible?
27 in real life
Yeah,
or
she's
something like
26.
that. So
She's fun.
Oh, now I understand the watches and the cigarette tricks and the glasses.
Why?
Because you're building a persona. You're going to pull the
Let me
trigger.
tell you something. This isn't built overnight. Okay, I'm constantly building new floors in my penthouse suite.
Oh, shit.
you got an
That's
MC
very-
Escher over here.
Very House of Leaves, too.
I don't. All right, God. You and your hack novels that you're reading over here.
Hey. Hey, anybody out there who's actually read this book, which Randy has, but he instantly started backing off and was like, dude, it was a decade ago.
What's more hack, House of Leaves or Infinite Jest? Randy, Infinite Jest?
I guess Infinite Jest, yeah.
House of Leaves is cult, though. It's not like it's like on the Barnes and Noble bookend
True.
of classics. It's more like, hey, anybody looking for a good time, go on Goodreads and read the reviews of House of Leaves. There's some
Has Nick
angry
read House
people.
of Leaves?
Probably.
Call him.
I would believe you're talking Nordlinger,
Yeah,
right?
can we call him?
Can we call him up on here?
Call
and
him
ask
right now.
Yeah, get him on the show.
Yeah, get him on the show. Call him right now. Call him right now.
I can't. How? I'd have to hook up the phone thing.
Can we do it in like 2 minutes?
We could do it next week.
Fuck that. I want.
Why are you asking me? I'm the we got two producers here. Yell at
We
one
have
of
two
them.
producers that sit on their thumbs.
I've been called the worst producer ever already today, so I'll let Randy handle the technical things.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna
look-
cut
look
your
at what
mic
you
off,
did.
too.
Put a
You
dollar
could just hold
in
the
jar.
speaker up to the microphone and do it ghetto.
Oh, God.
Call him.
You really want me to call
Call him
Nick
right now.
and be like,
Yes.
hey, but dude, have you read House of Leaves? And then where do we go from there?
You let the master do his craft.
Did he's probably
All right.
writing his syllabus for the week.
All right, this is going to fuck up a couple of things, so y'all got to bear with me.
Call him right now.
All right, well, can you fill the dead air while
This is the new format of the show. It's called Clark Gets a Little Drunk and We Get Funky. Randy, is that a portrait of a lady on fire poster?
It is, yeah.
Has that always been there?
It's been there for
I put it up
months.
several weeks ago, maybe a month and a half.
Has your camera angle always been there to see it?
It hasn't. I think it's been a little like, I don't know, because I just moved
No,
it a
yeah,
bunch
it's
and
been more to the left
it's in
because
the
I've been
same-
seeing your refrigerator, and I don't see your refrigerator.
true.
anymore.
Yeah, you
See?
saw me grab a beer last time.
I did. Are you not drinking? Am I drinking alone, dude?
I am drinking a beer.
All right, good.
I always drink a beer here.
Why aren't y'all drinking with me? Oksana, you got booze in there?
It's just Earl Grey.
I got vodka. You want some vodka in there? You want that? Earl Grey needs a friend. It needs a Russian potato-based friend.
I had 2 rum and cokes last night. Not generally
you
a
at
rum
a
drinker.
casino?
No, I was at my uncle's place in Fort Lauderdale.
Mm. Yes, Randy is just back from the state of Florida. Tell us how's it going down there in the dirty.
It was good. You know, weather was nice, considering we had a snowstorm here one of the days that I was gone. So I missed.
Did you get a speck of snow?
In Atlanta, they did, but I was in Florida. We got heavy rain in Florida. But yeah, I don't know. It was nice. You know, beach is not really entirely my thing. I like being around the ocean.
Yeah.
But I don't like interacting with it for the most part.
Randy, that was evident from your Instagram where
Oh yeah,
you
that was
showed
very
picture-
John Wilson too.
God, you are becoming this man.
Hey,
Right, explain the picture you took and posted on social media as a thirst trap for people who love ankles.
I took a picture of me at the beach on a beach chair with my shoes and socks completely on and wearing pants, but the pants were like rolled up maybe like 2 or 3 times, so you could see a little bit of ankle. But that's how I enjoy the beach.
Did you get a tan line on your ankles, dude?
No, I did get a mosquito bite on my right ankle though, so it's a little red.
Are you calling him? Oh, what's that? We got him?
No answer. I
Okay.
tried.
What are we going to do? Teachers. You know what I mean? When you need them, they're not there for you. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
That was a good
God.
bit though. That was worth it.
No, it wasn't.
He'll call back.
You know, I would have been down for that type of thing like a while ago. But Nick Nordlinger, who was our second guest host on the show when Clark was gone, he would have ran with it well. Oh, wait, hold on. He's calling me back.
He's back.
Hell yeah.
All right, hold on. Hey, what's up?
Hey, you just called me.
Yeah, Clark wanted me to put you on the spot.
Nick, you're on the show.
You're on the show?
You're on the show.
Hey, what's up?
Go ahead, Clark.
Have you read House of Leaves?
House of Leaves. Is that what you asked?
Correct.
Yes, I love House of Leaves. I've read it twice.
Is it better than Leaves of Grass?
Yes. By quite a bit, I would say.
You read it twice?
Don't get me wrong. Leaves of Grass is, gay, transcendent romanticism at its finest. Or not romanticism.
Randy, put that on your list.
But House of Leaves, man, is, especially for the stuff you guys traffic in, it's gold. It's pure gold.
Humans?
Now, let me ask you this, Nick. Is House of Leaves, what's more hack? House of Leaves or Infinite Jest?
What's more? They're both. I read them back to back when I read them. I was doing the big book thing. Infinite Jest is more literary. House of Leaves is more experimental fun. And there are aspects of House of Leaves that a lot of literary people think are kind of silly, but that I love, like the book architecture, like the way that the pages. The way that the words form a spiral staircase, or the way that there's like one word per page, so it's like you're running while you're flipping pages. So House of Leaves is more for the horror fan. Infinite Jest is more for the disaffected Hamlet fan. But they're both excellent.
God damn it. Nick, you rule, dude. I love you, Nick.
I also love
you guys
spiral
too.
staircases, so all right, I'm sold.
You should definitely read House of Leaves, and I recommend you do it while listening to some, drone metal, and really get yourself freaked out, because it's quite the existential dread story. It really is.
There you go, Russ.
Nick, I'm reading it right now. We got to talk about it more later.
Sounds good. Always a pleasure to be on the show.
Thanks,
All right.
Nick.
Love you, Nick.
Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
And that's what we offer here at the Overlook Hour. Okay, where are you going to get this?
Oh,
does
my
Joe Rogan do
God.
that? No, he does not. Does Mark Maron do that? No, he does not. Does Terry Gross do that? Probably.
What do you mean harass our friends while they're? What was he doing? Running to get food like Randy?
What was he doing? He was providing a layer in our sandwich.
Also, he nailed it. The like one word per page because you're like running. I just got to that part. It's incredible.
By the way, was he on the lam when he called us? Because he was out of breath.
That's what I mean.
He sounded panicked.
That's like Randy when he's going to get food.
I'm a fast walker. Yeah, I think I breathe okay, though.
Randy is a fast walker, confirmed.
Oh my
A
God.
little too quick.
All
All right, let's bring him in.
Oh, you're excited to see. Okay, I do want to point out today is a Monday, so hopefully he'll give us something different than at the end of the weekend projects bullshit.
This fucking thing is sticking me in the face.
All right, while you deal with your celery, I'll issue him in.
Is that an innuendo?
Wait, no. Wait, hold on. I have to go get him. So,
David? David?
Randy.
I almost had a Bloody Mary spit take.
Oh my God, Randy.
That was very good.
Oh my God. You can't do that shit out of nowhere.
It's your buddy Kyle McLaughlin.
Good morning. It's January 17, 2022, and it's a Monday. Today is actually day 3 of weekend projects because we're having a long weekend. Today we're celebrating the great Martin Luther King Jr. And I was thinking about the Platters and their song, My Prayer, from 1956.
Hello?
It could go along with the projects
Oh, God.
and the thoughts.
Okay.
You never know what's going to happen here.
No, we don't, David. We never know.
Whatever does happen, everyone
Oh, God.
have a great day.
I was really excited there for a minute. He never acknowledges holidays, and he mentioned that, but also it's another weekend project shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think David is at the end of his journey.
He keeps showing up.
I think he has reached his destination.
Oh my God, that was a fucking journey. That was like House of Leaves right there. I didn't know where we were going.
Oh my God.
That's not true. I do know where we're going. You ready? I don't know why I expected you to echo out right there. Like report.
I'm not an idiot.
I don't. All right. Well, this week we're going to rejoin our found footage adventurer Thomas Burke, who is tirelessly still categorizing more and more found footage films. This time, he's bringing us an email with the headline, "Who is Mr. Tom?" which was a little concerning when I first read it.
Sounds pretty self-congratulatory.
Yeah, right. Here, let's jump into that email. Thomas writes, "Who is Mr. Tom?" And no, I'm not referring to myself in this case. I'm referring to the insanely good underground web series I found from 2012, made by the same filmmakers who did Antrim. It was initially presented as a 26-episode web series and later compiled into a feature-length narrative format, amounting to 93 minutes in runtime. These videos are available on YouTube in both formats. However, if you're interested in learning more of the backstory, I encourage you to visit the team's official website, whoismrtom.com. This isn't your typical found footage YouTube-style video, because within the first 20 minutes, there is an otherworldly reveal inside of a church, which I mentioned because it introduces some high-stakes situations that showcase some really frightening imagery, the kind of stuff that doesn't look cheap to make. Overall, this series has really impressed me, and I don't know if I would have stumbled upon it if it weren't for Nick Nordlinger, who filled in for Clark recently.
Well.
And recommended the Mandela Catalog, which has inspired me to dive deeper into the found footage web content world. In closing, if you're like me and you like scary imagery that makes you want to poop your pants, then definitely grab a diaper and give this one a shot. All the best, Thomas Burke, NMTBMNIST, not Mr. Tom, but my name is still Tom. Thomas, you killed it with this one. Ow. This one's weird. And I was thinking about how I could kind of give a like one sentence rundown that would give people an idea of what they're getting into. And I think it's Guillermo del Toro meets creepypasta. Our subject here, Mr. Tom, is an exorcist. And when Who is Mr. Tom starts, we're introduced to a pretty scary found footage kind of situation where a mom has been pleading, looking for somebody to help her with her daughter. And I'm not going to go into the footage that this kicks off this film because it is effectively scary, which I honestly think kind of hurts the feature. Because we're not dealing with this mom and her daughter, ultimately. We're dealing with Mr. Tom, who's the exorcist that shows up. And the mom isn't happy with the job he does. And there's a little bit of footage that she took that she wasn't supposed to take of him in the process. And he, at a certain point, pulls down a scarf that he has over his face and reveals that he has no mouth. And effectively, he looks a lot like a creepypasta character, but, in real life. And the film is mostly what we like to talk about, where it's a lot of mixed media from the internet run through a single editor who is anonymous in the film. His face is blurred out, and he has got that like creepy FBI concealed voice going. And it's pretty effective, but really, we're following him, who's an investigative journalist of types, who ultimately gets on the subject of Mr. Tom, who is a kind of like 50s monster from living in a dungeon in New York. It's really effective. There's also some, again, we're dealing with the people who made Antrim, who clearly are huge film fans. So there's nods to like Charlie Chaplin in this movie. But ultimately, what we're dealing with is a misunderstood creepypasta character, which ultimately this becomes a pretty sentimental movie. Would you agree with that, Oksana? I know you watched it with me. I got a lot of like heartstrings pulled during this one.
Yeah, especially when they brought in people's comments about Mr. Tom.
I'm glad you mentioned that because it is an editor online. He does work in like the Facebook page that I guess was authentically growing at this time, and a lot of YouTube comments, and they work into the narrative. This one is really interesting. If you're into like ARGs, this is a very light one, but you can find it. Actually, we should tweet out the complete one because it took us a little bit and to find it, but ultimately it was worth it. Sometimes I like to watch it in the web installations because you can see where a video ended and how long in between they were uploaded. But with this one, the narrative works so well that it's not important. You could just watch this thing.
2 questions. Number 1, he never sends you a link?
He does. He puts them in there. I do. It's just a little complicated because we don't want to hook up the computer every time to the damn projector.
I understand, but you click the link, you understand the title, then you plug the title in there.
Thank you.
Bob's your uncle.
Where were you when we needed you?
I'm here to help. That's all right. Number 2, this is an ARG, correct?
Kind of.
So what was the release schedule like? How many segments were there?
There were 26. I don't know what it was like, and I'm actually kind of shocked that I think it got around 20,000 people on Facebook interacting with it, which is like nowadays
very stable group on Facebook.
I know, right? Well, it's weird. The Facebook like niche groups, like Facebook, what is their like market? Like everybody's
the metaverse.
No, not the metaverse. Everybody swears by that marketplace. They're like, fuck Craigslist.
Marketplace.
Yeah, marketplace.
Okay, yeah, like there are communities on Facebook that get along, but just on the regular feed,
Zuckerberg doesn't mince his words.
Yeah, right.
It's the marketplace.
So yeah, I don't know. This one's really good. It again, weird hair splitting complaint here, but there's an image. There's a little vignette in the beginning that is effectively like terrifying.
Yeah.
And then we never get there again because it's not about that. And I understand, but it's like, fuck, I want a movie that's just that. Because it's all exorcism stuff and a girl's possessed. And again, the homie who made Antrim, this dude, he knows what he's doing and he loves this like experimental format. This is really good. I'm shocked I haven't heard about it before. But again, Thomas Burke, man, you're doing God's work over here.
Tommy.
And I think that's it. Did you want to add anything to it?
I don't know. I was a little bit like distracted with how hypocritical the filmmaker was because he blurred his own identity.
Yeah.
But was encouraging Mr. Tom to go show himself off, kind of.
For sure.
To get used to being seen, but like we never find out who the filmmaker is.
Yeah, what Oksana's talking about is we're dealing with a monster, which is why I bring in Del Toro. Because it's kind of like the misunderstood monster. And he does, what is that therapy where it's like, oh, you're scared of spiders. Exposure therapy. And we get kind of like that Jackass style of filmmaking where we have our character in full makeup. And the goal here is he wants him to stand in the middle of a crowded mall and he's going to show him that people are good and they're not going to fuck with him. I'll go ahead and spoil this little segment, which is all like CCTV, like it's kind of like hidden camera stuff. Somebody called fucking security on him and it works so well in the narrative. Like you get one lady who comes up to him and is just like, hey, are you okay? Like, are you lost? Like, can I help you? But which is weird because our character has no mouth. So he just kind of like does a lot of
dream woman.
And again, with Charlie Chaplin in mind, it's a lot of physical acting and dude, he's so good at it. But, then some dude comes up to him. What did that guy say? He looked like such a piece of shit. He walked up to him. He's like, hey, man, what's up? Is this you?
He's like, is that your face?
That your face?
Oh, so that was that Mr. Jerry?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, it's the people.
Tom and Jerry is the joke there.
No, a lot of the people in the, like little kids taking video of them and stuff, it's kind of heartbreaking. So again, it's not like terrifying. But Oksana's right, like Satchmo, like you kept hearing that down there. And,
Louis Armstrong.
And
Satchmo.
No, but I'm saying the lyrical content where it's talk about like when you smile, the whole world smiles. Yeah, it's ironic that our monster is obsessed with this, yet he doesn't have a mouth. I don't know. There's a lot of that going on.
Red roses too.
Okay. Yeah, let's end it there.
I need more saliva in my throat.
I mean, that was pretty good.
No, it was terrible. Let me tell you something.
That wasn't bad.
When I get there's a certain thing I haven't been able to figure it out. But sometimes
Women.
when there's also confirmed, when there's a certain amount of spittle in my throat at a certain area of my larynx, I sound, there's no exaggeration here. You know me to be a man of truth.
Yeah.
Exactly like Louis Armstrong. That wasn't it.
God.
That wasn't it. But there are times, it's like generally right before I have to like cough or something.
Mhm.
It gets right in there.
You talking like that reminded me of a trailer we watched last night. Do you know which one?
Mm-mm.
The bird one. So, teaser for our interview.
That was a theme of birds yesterday.
Yeah, teaser for our interview. We got Adam Still on, and we learned about his weird relationship with birds. And then we went downstairs and we're watching trailers and trying to pick a movie, and everything kept coming up bird.
Everything.
And one of them is a foreign
We also
film.
watched a movie where the protagonist's name was Bird.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, her name was Bird. Anyway, this film, do you know the title? Does anybody know the title of the movie I'm about to talk about? The one where there's an egg that
Yeah.
she puts
Oh,
under the
Hatching.
hatching. Okay, yeah, that
Randy,
one.
you seen this? Send him the trailer.
No.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It's IFC Midnight.
Actually, can we reach out for a screener? I know we never do that, but
Planning to, yeah.
okay. Hopefully this will pay off, and next week we can talk about hatching.
This looks
But
tight.
everybody put it on your radar. It looks fucking bizarre.
It's
And
out already?
It
Or
looks,
coming out?
It looks
April.
it looks like Lamb, but way cooler.
But horror.
Yeah,
I still
Lamb
haven't
sucked.
seen Lamb.
I didn't think
You're-
of Lamb
you're
when I
good,
saw this
man.
trailer.
Anyway, Clark's gravelly voice there. I instantly wanted to make a joke about chewing food for him, and it reminded me of that trailer.
Oh, that was good.
yeah.
That
So
was good.
there, I promised I had a reason for going on that weird tangent.
Man, fuck you, dude. I want Five Guys now.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. It kind of.
Man, I've been good for 2 weeks, man. I've lost somewhere between 8 and 10 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean.
I'm feeling good. I'm on a good, schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know what? I'm kind of over it now. I could eat some fries.
Yeah, I don't know. Once your biome in your stomach changes, it's like
Yeah,
just
it's
run
weird.
with it.
But
dude.
I got a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna make some crock pot meals this week. Randy,
Hell yeah.
I'm talking some red beans and rice. Also, I'm talking some ham soup. Found a recipe. Also, I found a recipe for some African chicken peanut soup. That seems pretty cool, but I forgot those ingredients. Also, I have more peeled tomatoes than I know what to do with.
Hey, our food segment is before David comes in, okay?
Our food segment is whenever the maestro wants it to be. And right now, the maestro wants to throw it to the man in the beanie, Randy Michaelstad.
Yes, sir.
Can I get
As mentioned, I've been in Florida for the last couple of days. So I haven't watched a ton this week, but I knew that I would have to watch something before I came here today. So
confirmed. We would not have let you in the chat.
I saved. I went on my iPad, and I went to Netflix, and I said I'm going to download something.
Do not tell David Lynch you did this, dude.
So yeah, I downloaded the best way to watch this type of movie. I downloaded a widescreen Western called The Harder They Fall, directed by James Samuel, and I watched it on my iPad this morning at the Fort Lauderdale airport and then on the flight because I had to split it up into two because I wasn't there for too long before the flight boarded.
We get
But
it, Randy.
This is a movie directed by James Samuel, who I think was a musician before directing this. I think this is...
Oh, he's not dead.
No.
Okay.
I think this is his first feature film directing. Stars Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Zazie Beetz, Regina King, Delroy Lindo, Lakeith Stanfield. A lot of great actors in this. Jonathan Majors essentially plays the lead of this movie, and yeah, I don't know. I love Jonathan Majors since I've seen him in the the last black man in San Francisco. Anytime I see him pop up, he's always great.
Oh, he was the only good part in White Boy Rick.
You know, I haven't seen that still.
You're good.
Yeah, I kind of heard that as well. But yeah, so essentially the plot of this movie, IMDb says, when a outlaw discovers his enemies being released from prison, he reunites his gang to seek revenge in this Western. So essentially, Jonathan Majors, as a kid, in very Batman fashion, his parents were killed in front of him. And the person that killed his parents carved a cross into Jonathan Majors' like forehead as a kid, and that, you know, obviously left him very scarred in both metaphorical and physical ways.
Nice.
So yeah, essentially the person that is being released is the leader of this gang, who is the person that did said crime. And yeah, so Jonathan Majors' character's name is Nat Love, so he gets his own gang together, and I think, what is it? Cherokee Bill? I think that's the rival gang. So essentially, you got a rival gang, you got a gang of, you know, cowboys that rob banks, and then you got Nat Love's gang who robs the people that rob the banks. It's kind of fun setup.
Like Omar.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of really good cinematography in here. Apparently, the DP of this also shot The Master, and he also worked with Francis Ford Coppola in some later Francis Ford Coppola films. But
who's that?
You know, I can't pronounce his name, but it's a great looking movie.
I was talking about Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh. Yeah, it looks really good. I may have not got the whole question that you asked. But yeah, it's
yeah, that was perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the town that the two rival gangs are in is very colorful. Like everything in like all the set design and the costumes and everything look great. There's some really fun like cinematography. There is a couple instances of split screen, which I thought worked pretty well here. There's like a really interesting like pretty long, like not super quick zoom, but there's this zoom towards this like one of the last like sort of like shootouts, duels or whatever towards the end of the movie. That was really good. There's a lot of, you know, like anachronistic songs used in this movie, but I thought it worked really well here. I don't know. I felt like they have a lot of fun with, you know, Western tropes and having like really great characters, really fun dialogue, and yeah, it's really solid. I don't know if any of you have seen this yet.
Nope.
No, I'm down for a black Western, dude.
It's good. Yeah, I'm
How
a
many
fan.
stars? 3 stars? Sounds like a 3-star from Randy.
It's like a 3.5. I was thinking about maybe leaning to 4, but
Oh wow.
you know, it's
Randy's feeling Randy.
it's pretty, you know, like I said, it's pretty kind of like, you know, lives by general like Western tropes. So it doesn't do like a whole lot to like kind of mix up, you know, the type of a Western, but also, you know, whatever, if they just want to do a fun black Western with very cool and interesting kind of characters that, you know, we really haven't really seen too much before. I'm sure there are other black Westerns that, you know, people know of that I haven't seen. It would be cool to check out as well. But yeah, it's like I said, it looks really solid. There's a lot of fun stuff in it. So if you got a Netflix subscription and you haven't canceled it 3 times like Clark has, go ahead and give The Harder They Fall a shot.
Yeah, it's called, dude, you never saw Medea Goes to the West?
No, I haven't seen many Tyler Perry films, although I live very close to what used to be a Tyler Perry Studios, apparently.
Dude, Tyler Perry Studios is taking over, man.
Yeah, his newer place is huge, apparently.
For the
I haven't
record,
been by.
we're big Tyler Perry fans on this show. I want to be very clear.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
haven't seen
Boo's
that.
a hit.
Next week, I will see Alex Cross, where Tyler Perry takes an action dramatic role as Alex Cross.
You know, I think I have seen parts of that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I don't mind Tyler Perry as a dramatic actor. I think he's rather good when he's serious.
I think he's great. I'm not kidding you. I love Tyler Perry. I'm a
Yeah.
Tyler Perry fan. Oh man, Alex Cross though. I'm over that James Patterson bullshit.
You strike me as a James Patterson reader.
Fuck you. That's hurtful. No, you
Yeah,
got nothing
besides,
on you got nothing on the blustering dude.
No, but I do want to give Randy a shout out for having the coolest shirt today. He's got a Lahane long sleeve that he bought off Instagram.
You bought it off Instagram?
yeah, some Instagram account that just makes bootleg T-shirts, and
That's
there's been
cool.
other ones that
That's
they
the
posted about that
coolest thing
seem
you've
cool.
ever done.
Oh God!
It's a good shirt.
Wait till he starts getting the coffee watches, dude.
I'm gonna tell you right now. He's not that cool. I'm only that cool. Don't impeach on my coffee watch, dude. I've bought a lot of stuff off Instagram.
Okay.
They know me, dude. They fucking know me now.
Is any of it good or is it
My
all trash?
Instagram feed is nothing but watches, race cars, and chubby girls. That is all my Instagram feed. Russell, your thoughts?
What's your TikTok like?
One time I logged in there one time, tried to see what the fuss was about, and got out of there.
All right, we got to get on there.
I don't know, man. I'm too old. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if this plane's got another takeoff in me, man. I'm just cruising. All right, Randy, you got another one?
I got no other movies. No, I've mostly just been watching a lot of TV. The Righteous Gemstones is back, and it's very fun, very good.
New episode tonight. No, tomorrow.
Trafficked
Today's
is back.
Monday.
The Nat Geo documentary show with Mariana von Zeller.
Oh, it's back? It's
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, Trafficked is back.
That's it.
It's really good. And then I also finished the last season of Search Party, which was very insane. But
Pass.
Man, y'all watch too much TV.
Pass. I don't like
Fuck
Starly
TV.
Kine.
she like created it or as a producer or something. Yeah,
She annoys the fuck out of me.
she's alright.
I don't know.
I
Man.
don't think she's in it though.
She had that mystery show. That was a bunch of shit. What a flop that was. It was a giant thing that NPR propped up. It was supposed to be like a enormous podcast where Starly Kine solves a mystery every week. The first week, how tall is Jake Gyllenhaal? And then the fucking show went away. It was a fucking hunk of shit. Fuck her. Fuck that show.
I like the alliteration of the episode title though. It's good. How tall is Jake Gyllenhaal?
What was it called?
How tall is Jake Gyllenhaal? You literally just recited it
That's
to
not
me.
alliteration.
Or whatever it is. I don't know. Wordplay.
It rhymes, you stupid.
It rhymes. Sorry, I don't know what iambic pentameter is either.
Oh my God.
God, what a bunch of
Way to take a shot
illiterate
at me.
Sals I
You
have in
motherfucker.
here,
I
dude.
know what alliteration is. It's fucking
Alliteration.
It's every Marvel character. That's just how they
That
name
is true.
every goddamn character.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, fuck them all.
Speaking of
Jack
Marvel,
Jefferson.
the Book of Boba Fett's kind of good too.
Oh, are you watching the Boba Fett?
Oh yeah,
I've watched a couple. Have you watched the Boba Fett?
No, I'm
It's
not
fun.
a fucking
that's kind
child.
of fun.
You love the Mandalorian. Is the Mandalorian coming back? What's going on?
No.
Actually, for Christmas, my sister bought me my own droid. So I was driving that around in the front room.
The droid is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I do like
But
the
again,
droid.
I'm not a fucking child. Now, I canceled Disney.
I got a bundle. So
Oh
I got
my
Disney
God.
through a bundle. I got the Disney bundle. Yeah, the Boba Fett's good.
Canceled it when it wasn't free anymore.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, me too. But then I got a
Fuck.
bundle.
Fuck them.
All right. Obviously there was a giant horror movie that came out this week. I was gonna put a joke in there, but I couldn't think of another thing. We'll talk about that second.
Okay.
First, we're going to talk about a movie that was released on Amazon Prime. Now, this had a limited theatrical release, much like Randy Michaelstad's previous entry into this catalog. The Harder They Fall. Randy, was that the name of that movie you just talked about?
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That had a limited theatrical release, such as the movie that I will be talking about this week, and that is Being the Ricardos. Now, this is an Aaron Sorkin film. Aaron Sorkin, boy, let me tell you, I mean, you're either in or you're out or you don't give a shit. You got 3 options with Aaron Sorkin, and I'm kind of somewhere around there. I feel like we hit the tip of the top with Mr. Sorkin. And I will tell you, this felt the least Sorkin-y movie I've ever seen in my life. There's not as much walk and talk in this. I think maybe, he's evolving. I don't know. The way that this film is structured, of course, we're talking about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz is playing Ricky Ricardo in the I Love Lucy television series, which changed television. Now, the film operates sort of as a faux documentary at the beginning of the film, because what we have here is we obviously go into, what's happening at the time. Essentially, this takes place in 1 week of Lucille Ball's life, and this is when Lucille Ball was called out for being a communist. But she explained that when she was 18, she checked a box, and she checked the box for the Communist Party because of her grandfather. Her grandfather raised her, and he was a member of the Communist Party, and she checked the box to be involved in the Communist Party to honor her grandfather, and that was all of her involvement of being involved with the Communist Party. But she got put on the list, and then it got released that she was on the list. And so basically this whole week was crowd control of what they were going to do. But also they had to do a show. So that's the movie. The movie goes into that. There's also a little bit of flashback, but then there's also sort of a faux documentary style of people who are still around in modern day talking about that previous time as well. Heads up, it's not the real people. These are also actors who are pretending to be other actors in the film. Do you understand what's happening?
I get it.
I barely get it, and I saw the movie 3 times. That's not true. I only stomached it once. It's fine. It's fine. Nicole Kidman does a pretty good job here. This movie feels like, what's the industry term? Packaging. I think that's what they call it, where essentially you've got this producer, and this producer can get you this talent.
Yeah.
That producer can get you this, and then they just kind of package everything together. That's what this is. Javier Bardem should probably not be playing Desi Arnaz.
It doesn't look the role.
He does not look the role.
Yeah.
But Javier Bardem is good. And he's a good actor. He's got a presence, and he's not doing a Desi Arnaz impression. He's doing the best he can do. And let me tell you something. It's pretty fucking good because Javier Bardem's talented. So he's not Desi Arnaz, but he's fucking good. And Nicole Kidman has that raspy voice. She does a pretty good job here.
Well, so are we getting mostly like Lucille Ball, or are we getting like a I Love Lucy like rundown?
We get an I Love Lucy rundown,
because
we get a little bit of the Lucille Ball backstory of her struggles in Hollywood, and she's trying to be a movie star, and she gets actually cast in a film in the 1940s called The Big Street.
Mm-hmm.
And but then because she had a package deal with RKO, and then RKO dropped her because she was getting a little older, and then she started doing radio theater. And then they were like, what do you think about television? And then she's like, I only do this television if my husband is involved in the show and he plays my husband. Like, well, we can't have an interracial marriage. He's like, well, I've got all the leverage here, so fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's how I Love Lucy happened.
Well, I mean, is it one of those things? Because, I mean, Lucy and Ricky Ricardo are so iconic.
Yeah.
Like, is this movie about, like, they weren't like that in real life? Like, is it one of those kind of biopics, or is it like a celebration of that?
A little bit of both, but I
Okay,
mean, you know, they
yeah.
divorced, and they divorced right the day after they wrapped up their final episode of I Love Lucy,
Yeah.
and they go
Hmm.
into that, and they
Well-
really sort of package that together. Because I don't want to tell you how it sort of ends, but
I mean, it's just you could do a lot of the red hair drama because I know it's a black and white show, and there is all this kind of stuff that because I'm a fan,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Oddly, I don't know why, but
it was
it's
great
just a
show.
good show. Yeah, and
she's a terrific comedian.
whenever you like something like that, it's like I don't know if I really want to watch here's her talking about being a communist behind the scenes and dealing with a bunch of drama that never got touched on in the era.
Well, she was very adamant that she's like, look, my involvement with the Communist Party is that I checked a box
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah, but I remember a long time ago, I can't remember what you were talking about, but you kind of contextualized biopics in a new way for me, where it's not really we're trying to do God's work of telling the correct history. We really get a chance to watch a famous actor kind of live in another actor.
Yeah.
And the Nicole Kidman thing sounds interesting to me.
Well, look,
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman and Harvey R. Bardem. I mean, look, you can't really get more talented than those two.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want a interpretation of Ricky Ricardo, though. I really
It
like
worked for me
Okay.
because he's charming.
Yeah.
And Ricky Ricardo
You got to be. He's
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I enjoyed this.
Well, okay.
It's long.
The other big fan is, of course, Oksana. Do you have any interest in watching this?
I'm a little weirded out by Nicole Kidman's
I
face
will
in
only watch this if you want to.
this.
It's 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Again,
Jeez.
that's a big fucking commitment.
I-
You can
I-
say no.
it would not be very high on my priority
Okay,
list,
cool,
but
cool.
I
It's not
wouldn't be
bad.
opposed.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
No, I had one day of not feeling well this week, and this was the day that I watched this. I also watched Horrible Bosses 2 again.
Feels like a weird choice to make a 2 hour and 11 long minute movie. That was
Are you doing
a
okay?
2+ hour movie about something that sounds like it was wrapped up in an hour.
Okay.
What?
Or I guess it was.
You're crazy.
I don't know.
You know what? I enjoyed being the Ricardos for what it was.
Would you rate it?
1.5. Three and a half.
Oh, why'd you give it the half? Because Randy did?
Yeah.
You're like, I'll give it a 3, but I want to rate it lower than Randy.
Yeah, copy reindeer. What do you want?
All right.
All right. And I also watched I'm going to call it the 6th time, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. It's
Hell yeah.
I want to say it's my favorite just because it's my favorite title of the Mission Impossible franchise. Ghost Protocol is pretty good. It's not the best one. You know why? Because the villain. It doesn't have a strong villain. Ghost Protocol. That's what it lacks here. It's not like your Fallout. It's not like your Mission Impossible 3 with Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's probably the best villain in the franchise. Also, Sean Bean. He's a great villain. Oh, it misses that.
I'm a big Fallout guy.
Fallout is incredible. Fallout.
Now,
may be
he's
my
talking
favorite.
Fallout Boy.
Mission Impossible Fallout Boy. That's
Hey,
a
we're getting
grassroots
7 this
campaign.
year, I think.
Wait, what?
We're getting the new one this year, I think.
Oh, and it's gonna fucking rip, dude.
Were you just trying to stay with the bird theme? Since the director is Brad Bird.
I love Brad Bird. Brad Bird comes from animation. If you're a podcast fan, which why would you be if you're listening to this show? Brad Bird was actually on Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal podcast several months ago. Very good. Give that a listen. I believe that was back in October. As I was listening to that while I was watching TV on a plane, and I saw that John Gruden got fired as the Raiders head coach. That has
Never heard of him.
apropos of nothing. All right. Scream. Scream is a...
Wait, no, set it up because I want to hear about
I'm
your
setting it up right now.
I mean, your experience.
What do you mean?
Because you went to the brunch thing.
Let me tell you something. Oh, my God.
No, because I know you're already
No,
tiptoeing.
here's the thing. I perform ballet.
Yeah.
Okay? I perform a ballet of words. You're a fucking mosh pit. And you come in here, you clamp around, and I'm a symphony. What?
Okay. Take 2.
I'm a symphony. You understand? I come in here. You ruined it.
What's the analogy for my words coming out of my mouth?
Oh, God.
I saw Scream 1, 2 weeks ago?
I think so, yeah.
2 weeks ago, saw Scream for the first time. And then I saw Scream 4 when it came out a decade ago.
Yeah.
That's my history of Scream. So I decided to go see. By the way, why didn't they call it Scream 5? Why is it just called Scream? There's also an inside joke in the movie about that. But anyway, so I went to the.
It's a shot at Halloween.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
At the New Mission Theater at the Alamo Draft House in San Francisco, California at 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning, I saw a brunch screening of Scream. At said brunch screening, I had, let's call it, an almost satisfactory egg BLT. Clark, why is it almost satisfactory? Because they did not toast the bread. Randy, I mean, come on. A BLT, you got to have the bread toasted. Am I crazy here?
No, I agree. What kind of egg we talking about?
Over easy. That thing
Okay.
popped.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
It was good. But on non-toasted bread, I mean, it's just a structural issue here we're talking. You know, you got lettuce, which is condensation. You have a tomato, condensation. You have bacon, piercing the bread. And then you have a runny egg. I mean, this is a recipe for disaster. It was a delicious disaster. I also had a Bloody Mary, which scratched this itch that I'm currently having, as I've had like 14 Bloody Marys in the past 24 hours.
Bloody Mary.
So I'm coming in, freshly bathed in the river of Scream. And, frankly, I think that, yes, this film is unapologetically, without question, fan service. And I don't think that's a negative thing, because it's a franchise horror film. So what the fuck else would it be? And that is really the only negative reviews that I've seen online, is that it's like, oh, it's just fan service. It's a fucking franchise movie. What the fuck else would it be?
Well, it's also even commenting on that new trend.
Yeah. That holds no water. Also, Randy, who I'm talking about specifically, is your boy from Film Spotting. He needs to cool it.
Josh Larson?
That's the one.
Yeah, the whole movie. We get into it a little bit with actually we talk a lot about Scream with Adam Stillwell in the episode coming up Thursday.
We do.
Still water.
Yes.
So, one of the things that because Adam, I think he opens up giving his top 5 list. And I mentioned briefly that I feel like 2 and 3 are really just rounding out a trilogy. That's their purpose in the franchise. And like all of the conversations about that. But 4 and 5 become really interesting beacons in like a decade of horror. And 5, I actually think this commentary is what ultimately makes me like it over 4. Where at 4 at the time, I really liked what they were saying. But this one, dude, they open up with shots against the Babadook and like art house horror and how
elevated horror.
Yeah, which is, to me, it feels a little bit late, because I remember when Don't Breathe came out, we were really into like ripping on elevated horror and how you can only enjoy a horror movie if there's like a deeper underlying meaning. And this film, which has a few of those, it just constantly kept taking shots at it. But again, calling it Scream, I think is, making fun of Blumhouse, which is, Halloween. And it's the, what do they call it? A requel?
Yeah.
Where it's like not just a reboot, it's a sequel, but it's also, you got to pay homage to the original, but you also have to do something new.
Yeah.
And it's, in the tradition of Kevin Williams, he really is able to make fun of exactly what he's doing well. And this film, we have the legacy cast, which they call them, which even when you look at the synopsis online, it says 25 years after the original series of murders in Woodsboro, a new ghost face emerges and Sidney Prescott must return to uncover the truth. That's really not what the movie's about at all.
At all.
And honestly, they unroll all the older characters in a very paced and like kind of like in a cinematic version, it's very heavy and it's very like limited.
They're garnish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not the star. They're like the celery in My Bloody Mary.
Which in part 4, I don't think was true. In
Yeah.
part 4, it's, hey, we're getting the Scooby Gang back together and we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
Where this one, I really like the way they handled it. The main qualm I had with this movie is that our lead, I do not think she had the presence to carry that film with her. Her little sister ends up stealing the movie for me. I don't want to talk too much about it. So ultimately, where do you rate?
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
And I think they did a good job. Like, you didn't have to see 2 or 3. And you mentioned to me that the Alamo did a recap
Yeah.
of all the movies. And I'm like,
Yeah.
honestly, you don't need one.
They did like a 10 to 15 minute thing of like, okay, it was previously on Scream.
Yeah. So the only complaints I've heard were that from fans were that, I guess, the killers. And it's like, man, if you're hung up on that still, I don't know.
Let me
doing it wrong.
Let me be very clear. They fucking tell you.
Don't spoil anything, please.
But it doesn't matter.
I understand. I agree with you too, but it is part of it. And even though I wasn't completely immersed, like we saw it with Terrell, and Terrell loves like, oh, who do you think did it? Like he's one of the people who wants to talk about it during the movie.
Sure.
I don't care because I'm like, hey, I like to see the story they're crafting. And we got to the end and I'm like, I was happy with it. I thought it all worked out great. I really enjoyed this one. Is there anything you want to add, Oksana? I know you really enjoyed this too.
I think you summarized it pretty well. Like the little sister totally stole it.
There's one thing that I know made you very happy about this film that I just want to see if you're going to lead with. They mentioned your favorite place in California.
Modesto.
Yeah, one of the main stories
yeah.
is that a character flees to Modesto to start a new life. And she's the troubled daughter who ruined her family.
That's where you go to end your life, player.
And then, Modesto sucked out all of her life energy, and then her face didn't move while she talked.
I could not imagine the writing room, though. Why Modesto? Like, there is a little bit of film history there. Isn't that where Lucas is from or something? Like
George Lucas?
Yeah, George Lucas.
Is he?
And it's like, why?
I thought he was from Tatooine.
I mean, because, California, we are a very West Coast elite country, but we still have a lot of places we like to make fun of, like Bakersfield. Like, I would think Bakersfield wouldn't have been as weird as Modesto.
Well, because no sick-ass band is from Modesto, dude.
He was born in Modesto.
Yeah, he was. So there is, like, weird little... But I'm like, that's not an Easter egg. Like, oh, yeah, like, imagine that popping up on IMDb trivia. Like, George Lucas was born in Modesto. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't know. I laughed out loud when I heard the Modesto thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredibly funny. Especially, like, Woodsboro to Modesto. I don't know.
There must be some proximity.
I will mention, they'd make no reference to the TV show that I've seen.
Good.
Which is a little weird.
How was the TV show?
I enjoyed it. It's completely different, though. They did a lot of horror wrapped up with technology.
How many seasons?
2, but they did a couple things that would piss off a long-term audience, like a fan base. And I will mention that in the Q&A, because we went to the first one on Thursday and they did a pre-thing and a post thing. In the post thing, we had the director. I can never remember what he did. Oksana.
Freaky.
The director of Freaky, who gave a very thoughtful Q&A, mentioned that he thought this film was about toxic fandom. And Kevin Williamson got so like, I've never had that experience. But it's like, in the script, you're kind of like, it feels that way, though. And just to bring it back to the TV show, they did this whole arc where there was supposed to be like an urban legend. It's kind of like Friday the 13th meets Scream. And they completely abandoned it. They just dropped it outright. And in season 2, it's just different.
Yeah.
So it's weird that Scream is the franchise of like coddling an audience, yet the TV show did not carry on that tradition.
Interesting.
Yeah, I loved it. Again, this is my second favorite Scream movie, and I stand by that. Also, without giving any spoilers, Ghostface kills somebody with 2 buck 120s. I thought it was iconic, and I would wear a shirt like Randy in his Lahane shirt right now.
Sick.
Maybe we should make one. We'll go on there and bootleg some Ghostface shirts. That'll really make us cool.
Randy, do you have any interest in going seeing Scream?
That's a negative.
Randy, your boy David Arquette crushes it.
He's great in it.
Tight. I think
Pretty
I've
fun.
only seen the first one.
Then
Again,
you're good.
people are going to get mad at me, but I do not. I think Courtney's looking a little rough in this movie.
Just good.
She was good. I love Gail Weathers, but she looks a little rough in this movie.
Just good.
She's going the Mickey Rooney route. I don't
She's not
like
going
it.
the Mickey
I'll
Rooney
tell you
route.
this. Nev Campbell, perfect. She looks great.
Just good.
She looks like she doesn't fucking age. She's bathing in virgin blood or something.
Gross.
Yeah.
Adrenochrome.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
So you're saying Nev Campbell was on Epstein Island? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe
Allegedly, yeah.
down on Epstein Island.
On Epstein Island.
You think they drink Bloody Marys on Epstein Island?
Ooh.
I'm not going to play
Oh,
the
boom.
stinger. It only happens whenever you have one in your hand.
Well, I drank it. I killed it.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about another movie. I'm going to bring Clark right back in
Okay.
because when I was venturing down into our front room for the first time in a week, we sat around for about 45 minutes trying to find a movie. Went to Netflix, which Clark canceled, and pulled the trigger on a film called Polaroid.
Polaroid.
Now, we went in blind here, and Clark, in usual manner, pulled out IMDb while we were watching it and discovered that this was created by the director Lars Klevberg, who, after making Polaroid, went on to make Child's Play, which it has that magical effect, man. When you like a movie by a director, all of a sudden you give a film more room.
Yeah.
This one, it's not that this one was bad. I will say that it opened up weird because we're dealing with a Polaroid horror movie, which the only reference I have for that is Goosebumps, Say Cheese and Die, which this one's different because when you take a picture of somebody, they die, but somebody murders them.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, that changes it completely. And in the beginning, it felt like it was going to be kind of one of those PG-13, this is a mess of a movie deals. Clark was wearing sunglasses, and the film is so dark that he had to take them off. I found this to be hilarious. I actually thought the cinematography was beautiful. It's got that X-Files feel to it, where it's very noir.
It looked like it was shot by Ray Charles, dude.
No, you just have no palate for fucking true cinema. And here's the thing. This movie was beautiful.
It was too dark.
It was like disturbing behavior. And then turns out the sheriff of the town, fucking Skinner. Now, all of these Luddites that I do this fucking podcast with, none of them watched X-Files. I don't know what the fuck's going on with y'all.
I've seen an ep or two.
Thanks, Randy. I should know I can always count on you. But the 90s was a dark period for metal, unless you were into the extreme. I was not yet. And for horror. And a lot of that brain share was stolen by the X-Files. So all you horror fans, I don't know what you were doing in the 90s. You should have been watching that show. Anyway, this little harbor town, I believe it felt like Boston. I actually wasn't paying that much attention. Were we in Boston in this movie?
No.
Massachusetts somewhere? We were in... Anyway, Bird, who works at an antique shop and has a scar on her neck, is camera shy. And we get this...
She cute, though.
Oh, she's got the like big eyes of like what you want from your girl next door in a horror movie.
Keep going.
Okay. Anyway, this Asian dude creeps on her and then he gets it and Clark cheered out loud.
Yeah, man, he's about to get it.
He tried to kiss her and it was effectively creepy. You know, I don't know how much I want to talk about this movie.
Yeah,
but
because she wasn't interested in him. She wanted young Johnny Depp.
she was so likable in this movie. And
She was good.
yeah, she was really
She
good.
carried the thing. Also, she's British.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Loses points for me.
Mm.
Taking American jobs, dude. Playing Americans, stealing their
Sure.
jobs. Also, the name Bird
Don't
Fitcher.
forget who won the war.
Bird Fitcher. I don't know if I
Bird
like that name.
Fitcher.
Anyway, if you're a fan of this is like found footage adjacent, I guess. We're dealing with a lot of Polaroids. The young cast is good. It is PG-13.
There were some very, very interesting things that happened in this script
A lot of them.
that happened in the third act
Yeah.
that were like, okay, this just raised up a little bit for me.
Also, it gets pretty twist and turny at the end if you're a fan of that kind of storytelling.
The CG is rough. The special effects, not good. It's PG-13. Frankly, that hurts it.
Yeah, Clark almost was completely out when he saw PG-13.
The kill scenes were not good, man.
Well, they're not really on camera either.
No.
Yeah, but
One person gets ripped in half and you see the top of his head split, and that's it.
yeah, that was probably the most cop-out
Not
kill.
Candicia style, dude.
No.
Candicia went.
Was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CG in here, there's some CG fire. It's mostly far away and doesn't.
CG snow.
Now, I disagree. If you want to
There
partake,
was a second scene that iffy. That first scene,
hold on.
clearly CG
So
snow.
you know what? Female Bag is a segment that we love and never get to do because none of you interact with us. Email us. What's our email? DM us. I don't do something.
Don't DM me, bro.
And weigh in on this. If you watch Polaroid, was the snow CG?
The first snow scene was CG.
It was not. I
It
think
was
it was
filmed
real.
in Nova Scotia. They probably have a lot of snow there.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what else I got? Computers!
Yeah, Clark was like, dude, the snow's only on the right side of the frame.
That was the
It's-
second snow scene.
Okay, but you're backing up on that one, or
The second one, I'm iffy. That first one,
I think
clearly.
no CG snow.
CG snow.
All right.
There's no question. Randy, fire it up right now. Skip to where you see snow and then confirm. Thank you.
No, we're gonna argue about this until people weigh in.
There's no question.
Anyway, great film. I totally understand why he got Child's Play after this. Man, it's just I love the cinematography in this bitch. It was great. I'm gonna sneak in one more. Right after, while we were looking and before
Also,
we,
a lot of young, handsome men in that one.
yeah, you kept calling one a young Johnny Depp.
One, he looked exactly like young Johnny Depp, and the other looked like Sean from Boy Meets World.
And then I was over here and I kept confusing the two because one of them was a potential love interest.
100%.
And I was like, wait, is that the love interest? And both Oksana and Clark were like, no, that's the boyfriend of the other girl.
You're getting your hunky boys mixed up.
You like hunky.
I go
boys.
cross-eyed. I can't tell. I get flustered. My brain shuts down. While we were looking for this film, we were checking out trailers of a bunch of shit. And Clark somehow tricked me into watching a TV show. Watched the first episode. He didn't even sit through the whole thing.
I gave it 30 minutes.
I'll briefly talk about this. It's called.
And I found out that one of our former guests directed a couple episodes.
Oh, really? Who?
Tune in next week.
Okay. What, you don't know the name off the top of your head?
Moorhead.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay, that checks out.
Maybe Benson.
I mean, I get a little
Who knows?
PTSD when I hear it.
Thank you so much.
But Archive
Not
81.
our fault.
Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is what was the confusing thing it said on Netflix? It's like, here's a found footage
Based
show-
off a podcast.
based off a found footage podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And then I'm watching it, and then they talk about the Vesser building, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I heard the whole fucking podcast. So way back in the
It
day,
took you 20 minutes
It
into
did.
this show.
well, the opening's completely different from the actual podcast. And who's the lead in this show that you love?
I don't know his name. Take it easy. He was in a couple things I saw. He's in one movie that I hated, but I liked him.
He's the only
Mamadou
reason.
Athi.
There you go. Thank you, Randy. He's the only reason why I was like, you know what? I'm willing to ride this one out.
He's good.
He's great. I loved watching him on screen. Also, the podcast is about a guy who gets hired by kind of a private company, and I mean private in the way that they're trying to be like private, like they don't have a trace online, and they're very secretive. And they hire him to fix like. It's confusing because in the show it's all film. It looks like it's almost like mini DV, but in the podcast it's like radio recordings. So he goes there and he cleans up the audio and he documents it again. So he has to listen to it all. And the thing is, he's up in the Catskill Mountains. He's like completely isolated. He's in an old cement building, and it's found footage because he's just listening to found footage from a building that had burned down. And I love the podcast. It's so well produced, and it was the first time I'd ever listened to something that was like scripted podcast, because normally I like free form conversation, but this was completely different. Season 1 was great. Season 2 gets a little fucking crazy, and the show seems to be right on track. It looks like a lot of fun. If like discovering and watching, it's, you know, this is very Sinister adjacent, where it's not a found footage show, but our characters dealing with like literal found footage. And if you like that kind of like I'm alone watching horror movies vibe, I mean, dude, watch it. Even though our arch nemesis has directed a couple of episodes.
Are you only in one?
I don't think I'm gonna go back.
You don't think you're gonna finish it,
dude? I just had a whole week where I didn't watch any movies. And again, I got my Severin thing in here. I really want to dig in. And yeah, I know I gotta watch some movies.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Cruel Jaws yesterday.
I know, and I feel like I don't know. I'm happy with what we watched.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. So Archive 81. You know, if you're looking for a podcast that's scripted, go listen to that. It was great. Season 2 gets very Lovecraftian, and I will mention that their treatment of it, though, like their descriptive, like artifact handling, was so good that I actually showed it to our DM because I thought it was good creative.
Your
fuel.
district manager?
Yeah, my district manager. No, my dungeon master.
Oh my god, I was trying to protect you. I was trying to protect you, dude.
Don't protect me. I love it. But you know what? I do like that. Weigh in on that fucking CGI snow argument.
There is no question it
There's
was
a
CG
question.
snow.
If it was CGI, it still looked good.
It did not look good. All right.
That's it.
Yeah, as Russell mentioned, stay tuned for Thursday's episode. We talked to one of our favorite scumbags, Adam Stillwell, who was able to sober up for 5 minutes to talk to us. As he talked to us apparently in a junkyard where he was sitting on spare seats of a Kia Sorento that he stole, probably some from poor, immigrant family.
Also, the director of The Triangle and The Devil in the Shack, if you're an UF fan.
Yeah, and this is the first time where he directed a film on his own. Did it work out? Mixed reviews. No, we love Adam, and we had a great talk, and yeah, that's it. No more positive things about him, because this is my show, and I'm the star. Randy, do you have anything else for us?
I don't, but I currently have hiccups from drinking this second beer that I popped open during our episode, and I didn't think I was going to make it through the sentence, but yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll see you next week.